me 1 second. All right. So is my screen visible right now?
Yeah.
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 Okay, fantastic. Thank you all for joining in today on a Sunday morning at 9:15 a.m. Um, we have today a very special session on the future of interaction design. Um, and this is part of the Design Nuances Edu series done by DQ Labs. Now, this particular topic is being taken by Dr. Soumyajit Ghoshal, who's the Dean of Jain University, right? The School of Design is called the D School. And let me start off with giving a little more information about Dr. Ghoshal. So, there's three areas that I need to speak about him. Number one is he is the dean of the D School, which I mentioned earlier, but he's been with NID since decades, right? That's from 1986 till 2015. And he was with NID Ahmedabad, and he's been the founding director of NID Bangalore PG campus. In between, he also headed UPES Dehradun. Now, that's his academic experience. His industry experience, again, you know, done a lot of work tremendously with the Indian government, with design consultancy for the Indian government, right? So the Ministry of Defense, Railways, Space Applications, HAL. So all of these massive industries is something that he's handled. He's been a consultant to, and at a global level, he's he's had fellowships from the British Council, WHO, governments of Sweden, Thailand, Japan, and he's also represented NID at various engagements globally. So, Dr. Soumyajit Ghoshal, thank you so much for taking the time out to come here and talk to our students and parents today. Um, Before you start, I'll just take a couple of minutes to talk about Jain University if students are interested. So the way the series is going to be held is for the first 10-15 minutes, they will talk about Jain University. Then for the remaining part of the series, they will talk about the topic that is the future of interaction design. And going onwards, we'll open it out for Q&A. So in the first part, it's important to note that you all can go on to DQ Edge. In DQ Edge, there's a listing called um, Jain University. Over here, you can either inquire with the college, or you can visit the college website, or you can apply to the college as well. So please do this. There's a lot of information there. Now, the advantage of doing it from here is that you reach the right people in the Jain University team, right? So that you get the right information, and that's what is core to us. Um, for those of you who don't know, Jain University is also partnering with us for the design hackathon, the 2021 DQ Labs CII DQ Labs Design Hackathon, which is being done with the CII. I'm going to share the links of this in the chat box, both on YouTube Live as well as here in the chat. It's a 2-day hackathon for students. It's going to happen on the 16th and 17th of October. Please do register. All kids from class 8 to 12 can register for teams. There are 10 categories which you can register for. You can choose whatever category that you like and register for that. Why is it important? You learn design thinking and design doing. It's a hands-on learning approach. There are schools like Jain University, the D School, who are committed to helping you learn design thinking even before you get into the school. So this is their way of helping you out and contributing to the community. Um, and you develop key attitude and aptitude skills and knowledge and experience to design. right? So very important. I've finished my part of this, so over to you, Dr. Ghoshal.
Thank you very, very much, John. Thank you indeed, because thank you indeed once again, because we know each other for quite some time now. It's commendable that the way you guys have been steering uh, and enthusing the budding group of boys and girls in the domain of creative opportunities, design opportunities in India, not only in design, but in architecture and other fields also as well.
Thank you,
So a
Doctor.
special thank to all of you. A special thank to you and your all members of the Disco Labs for giving us this opportunity. And it was a very short-term plan, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning to all of you. But the support is wonderful from the DQ Labs and Dion, Umesh, Sean, to all of them. I'm really indebted to all of them. Thank you so much. So let's begin. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, on a Sunday wonderful morning, I won't start with my School of Design because Dion, I hope you have received some of my background material about our school, links, pamphlets. I think I have forwarded about 6 things to you. You can share the entire bundle with all the boys and girls who are attending this. So from there, they can get all kinds of information. But let me tell you a couple of points, which is the framework of our new School of Design, the D School. Boys and girls, please understand, and in case some parents are also here, I have had the opportunity of being with NID from 1986 to 2015, 2015. You calculate how many years. We were the people, way back in 2001, we started talking about that ceramic, textile, industrial, furniture, graphic, filmmaking, all the things are going to be there. But how do you prepare people for the emerging economy? Now, what were the emerging economy at that point of time? Retail, online, etc. were coming up. So we started a couple of new programs. I was transferred from Ahmedabad to Bangalore to set up NID's Bangalore campus. I'll come back to you that later. But the reason for which I'm telling you is that I have had the opportunity of making the turnarounds of the newer needs of design in the industry, locally, regionally, nationally, and internationally. Boys and girls, and to the parents, by saying that what I actually meant was that conventional design needed another turn in 2000. Spanning after another 15 years, from 2015 onwards, design requires another turnaround. And from 2020, and especially after the COVID scenario, no touch scenario, etc., we are anticipating another turn, which are required to prepare newer kinds of designers to respond to the needs of the Indian industry and the global market. With this mandate, we have started a School of Design at the Jain University, where we have 9 unique selling propositions. We want to do things in a different way. A couple of examples are, you'll be surprised to know that our boys and girls, they have already started doing their industry internship at the fourth semester. This is the only school of design where students at the fourth sem, I'm again repeating, fourth sem, they are doing industry internship, and some people even have been paid for. Please understand, I have to be a run tomorrow to take the students to a defense public sector undertaking. They are only in the fifth sem, to introduce them to a large number of graphic design jobs. Please show me one student in any of the design schools in India who has opportunity to do visiting cards of senior officials of a defense public sector undertaking. I'm taking our graphic design boys and girls to BEML, Bharat Art Movers Limited, tomorrow, where the entire batch will be working on 7 kinds of graphic design interventions. Any proof, anybody can come back to me. I will send them BEML's own issued letters. By saying that, what I mean is our School of Design is going to be industry connected, as I have publicly committed in the first page of our website, is that from the day one of your specialization, you will have an opportunity to work for the industry. Like this, we have many, to be very precise, 9 unique selling propositions, including in our School of Design, you were supposed to do maximum number of projects. This is the only School of Design where we have introduced choice-based selection of subjects based on which you can pursue a skill track, a concept track, or a research track, because not all the designers are same. No 2 or 3 of you are same. Some people are very good in skill, hand skill, making, drawing, making certain things. Some people are extremely good at concepts, the ideas. And some people want to be there in the field. Why people are doing it like that? What can be done? So in our academic curricula, based on the choice of subject that you pick up, you can either pursue skill track, concept track, or the research track, or you can do a little mix and match also. So I won't delve into the details of our school, which is in any case available through DQ Labs. Through them, you can contact me. I'm always open. The link is open. The D School of Design, Jain University, you can serve through. And maybe, who knows, I have sent you enough material, I'm sure, which Jain will be, sending to all of you about our School of Design. But today, let me take you through something which you need to know, your parents need to know, and you'll be hearing for the first time. I'm not going to speak on what is currently prevalent, which are absolutely wrong. In the market, some people are giving you a flavor, a feeling that interaction design is all about wireframing, infrastructure, persona, user flow, and a couple of other English words, which I myself don't know the definition of that, because it is this gentleman who started the entire domain of interaction design and from NID long back. So I want to take you through that experience and then connect you with the future. By the way, as a framework of my presentation, none of us know what is our future. The only thing that we know is how to prepare you guys so that you can respond to the future as far as today's topic is concerned, with particular reference to interaction design. So with this, can I start my formal presentation? Boys and girls, that gives you a relatively good framework before we start my formal presentation. Any feedback? Yes or no?
Sir, good morning.
Morning.
I'm Dr. Kumudini. I've been with Jain from the last 17 years.
Wonderful.
And this makes me much happier after listening about the D School. I'm associated with the Center for Postgraduate Studies. So this makes me much happier.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I will make you more happy.
Thank you, sir. I want to be.
In the rest of my presentation, you'll be surprised to know what you're going to see. So give me screen share.
So the screen share option is already open.
Is there? Oh, second. Just 1 second. No, I'm sorry. I have to stop share. Just give me 1 second. No, because I had kept it minimized. Stop share. Yeah, it's minimized. Yeah, I got it. Sorry, I was working last night on the thank you slides. Anyway, so, well, is the screen visible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So talking about the future of interaction design, I thought from this perspective, as in today, a design educator is talking to you. So hopefully, somewhere down the line, we are talking about the role of a designer and the most optimum pedagogic process to prepare him or her. Interaction, please understand, in one hand, it's an idea. For example, my idea is, for how many years we have been standing in front of a mirror? Donkey number of years. Idea is, can the mirror be pixel sensitive so that every time I have stood in front of the mirror, it can have a medical association. It can capture my pixelation And at any given point of time, I can make the mirror intelligent enough to tell me, hey, there's something wrong in you. Because I can see there's a difference in terms of pixelation, picturization. Am I right? There's an idea. Another idea, designing the door locks. What are the other ways I can lock the door? I can open the door. This is idea domain. Another domain is technology-driven domain. Lots of developments happening in all kinds of technology, materials, 3D printing, sensor, sensing, all kinds of. So this another domain. The design domain is either a product is already there, how to interact with the product in a little better way, in an advanced way. One. Two, interacting with the technology. Technology people and the designers sit together saying that, wow, this can do that. So what could be the probable applications? Am I right? So please understand, interaction design per se, it's not a single person's job, not even it is the solely and full frame job of a designer. They work complementary together. Let me tell you the next one, the origin of interaction design. Well, parents, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is way back around early 90s and middle of 90s. At NIT, I used to take a 2-month project called DP2, Design Project 2. It used to be called Controls and Displays. Boys and girls, those days, jokingly, the students used to call this DISCO, D-I-S-C-O, display and control, because this is the interface through which you communicate with the product, you communicate with the system, and the system communicates back to you, the user. Is that right? So on the left-hand side, the control consoles of a Xerox machine. On the right-hand side top, I still remember that was the control and display that we had done for an industry. It is the control display interface for a plasma spraying system. And the third one that you can see in the bottom is a concept of a railway signaling system. So is it clear that in the name of this whole display and control project, what we started was actually interface design through which you, I can repeat, you interact with the system interacts back with you. This was the interface for an ECG machine. The right-hand side, the same thing that you see today, hear today, what is meant by task analysis. We started that long back. In fact, we're the people who started. This was a series of products that we did for Space Application Center, that how will you send the message based on satellite communication. So what I'm talking about in this slide is that Space Application Center, Ahmedabad, they told me that Ghoshal, SATCOM has these capabilities, and these are the scenarios where they might need an interactive product. Here you come in. Am I clear? Next. Again, the controls and displays. This was the control and display of an international maritime satellite system. This is the machine which gives power from ground to the satellite. It was controlling the power controls. So we're designing interfaces. This went on for about 10 years, and we continued to mature. We used to take up concepts which were not there also. For example, on your left, you see a newspaper clipping. You can't. Can you see the top portion? I'm sorry. It was a news flash from New York, and it appeared. You can't see this in 2008. Touchscreen tables may soon phase out waiters. The concept was the way we order our foods, maybe today, Swiggy, Zomato, blah, 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 or going to a restaurant, we need editing in food ordering. For example, make my pasta slightly spicy. In my sabji, don't put any nut. I'm allergic to nut. Some people, this is what, when you are ordering food, you need lots of editing. The first thing that you ask to the waiter is that this much of dal makhani, how many people can it serve? He will say, sir, this will be enough for 3. In some restaurant, they might say, this serves for 2. So we thought, is it possible to design an interface in which the customer will be able to edit, by the way. So the day I found this newspaper clipping, I sent a message to my student saying, can you please let me know as to which year we did the same project under display control? She says, attach, please find a PDF file of the display control project done in 2001-2. That means we were ahead by 6 years in developing the concept. Next one. And the entire breadboarding was ready. I don't know how many of you remember this. How many of you may not know the GPS-based navigation system, look at my cursor, was launched on Nokia system on March 27, 2008. Can you all see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We did the same project in 2002. On the left-hand side, down. And this was out of many, 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 many student projects. Now, boys and girls, those days, George Abraham, the head of Autodesk technicals, George told me, Ghoshal, you have lost 10 million US dollars. I said, how? He said, had you have patented the previous one and this one, you could have sold this to global players. As you can see in this slide, starting from beginning, please understand, I'm talking about 2002. GPS was not even launched. It's a dated proof that I'm showing you. We worked on how the navigation system should work, should look like, what a user would like to know, how, who is the user, in which context, language, direction, his mental modeling of expectation, everything is here. And my dear friend, this is just only one page out of maybe 100 pages of concept by the same gentleman. Now, now let me tell you some stories about, I'm sure this is going to be interesting for you. I hope all of you are enjoying. All of you are enjoying?
Yes,
Say
sir. Yes, sir.
Definitely.
Yes, sir.
Excellent, excellent. So I'm talking about, please understand the focus. I started by saying interaction design is not only screen-based, and by the way, most of the screen-based interactions that all people have been shouting, like the same shape of goats and cattle, is wireframe, persona, this and that, all of them are going to go within the next 2 years. Because no touch, COVID scenario, very high influx of artificial intelligence, very high work going on IoT, Internet of Things, high-end work going on ubiquitous computing. Ubiquitous computing is in the airport. When you were entering after COVID, you show your boarding pass and the barcodes. You scan the barcodes in one hand, the other hand, camera is seeing you. The camera is getting your data from the government data file. Security. Because the barcode scanner has an AI-driven chip, the camera has an AI chip, and it's IoT connected with the main data server. Is it screen? No. So let me take you through, because it's a whole hogwash going on in the name of interaction design. You can search Google. This has been the gentleman who started a formal entire thing. The slide is coming, I'll take you later. Now, let me take you through some very, very interesting experiences. Number one, I'm looking at the time available because this is going to be like a film show. I entered into one of the best hotels in the world, Hotel Atlanta Marriott Marquis. I see, and that was 4:30, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, nothing to be done. The conference only starts tomorrow morning. So I thought, let me watch the television. Switched on the remote. I discovered here everything is numerically coded. A001 means something, A002 means something, blah, 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 blah. So I was moving forward. from this step to that step, this step to that step, this step to that step. I came to films, pressed, the menu came. What kinds of films? Horror movies, cartoon movies, war movies, and things like that. I pressed one button. It told, these are the titles available to you. I said, okay, let me see how does that film. I pressed another one title, and the film started playing. Suddenly, out of a couple of seconds, there comes a message on the screen. You will be charged $7.50 for this film. I said, come on. I don't want to see the film. I don't want to pay $7.50. But the film is running. What do I do? I'm a user. Suddenly I realized that when I was coming forward, somewhere there was a menu saying that press 99 to escape. I pressed 99. The whole screen went blank. I said, what happened? Is it something like a child lock? That the film is running, but I can't see? Or have I switched off the main television? Is the film still running? I don't want to pay. So you're talking about user experience, context, and that was in United States, cultural difference. I'm talking hardcore interaction design. So what happened was, I wanted to know that what happened. Is the film still running? I don't want to pay. So I called to the business desk. This huge Negro guy came. He said, sir, what is your problem? I said, this is my problem. He said, sir, I may not know it full because I've joined recently. But I think what has happened is that at any given point of time, the film title is available to 10 customers. Is it clear? At any given point of time, 10 people can watch the film. If there comes an 11th person, the film is not available to him or her. Is it clear? Technically, it makes sense that in terms of technical capability, one film is available to 10 customers. If the 11 customers wants to see that film, it's not available to him or her. Is that clear? The question is, but how the hell do I know? I'm going through anxiety. Is the film still running? Do I have to pay? Got my point? So this is interaction. The ATMs in Canada. I was in Canada for a year. I was visiting professor to the OCAD University, Ontario Institute of Art and Design. So I got my first overdraft. I have to open the bank account. I hope all of you are listening. This is going to be fantastic. So I went to the bank. They gave me an ATM card. I went to the ATM machine. I'm a typical Indian in Toronto, Canada. Remember this. Went to the ATM, inserted my card, and I pressed $200. The ATM told wrong number. I again inserted that, pressed 150. Sorry, wrong number. I again pressed the card. I pressed $100. It showed, sorry, wrong number. I said, what the hell going on? I took my card and about to turn back, and I was about to cross-check with the bank saying that what is wrong. Suddenly I realized that below the screen, there are 4 buttons. In the ATM, below the screens, there are 4 buttons, 20, 40, 60, 80. I said, wow, what is that? I then inserted my card, pressed that 80 button, it gave me $80. So what is this interaction, design, context, and experience? Being a typical Indian, I wanted to have a purse full of cash. If you don't have much cash in your purse, you don't feel secure enough. But in Canada, in Toronto, the definition of security is completely different. They don't keep much cash in their purse because of mugging, theft, all the things. And all purchases can be done with cards. So the system has been designed in such a way that you can't ask for much of cash. So at any point of time, ATM will only give you max $80. Clear? Interaction. I'm talking about interaction design. Is this clear? Can you guys? Yeah?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Okay. Now let me tell you the third story. Very interesting. You will see that automatic toilet booths everywhere here and there. So long back, my friend and I, we were there in London streets, and we had to go to the washroom. We discovered that, wow, here on the road, there are paid booths. So how do you interact with the product? We were observing how to use this booth. We observed that door close, put some scents, the door opens, you go in, the door closes, you do your job, come out, the door keeps open for about 20 seconds for fresh air circulation. Again, the door goes back and closes. So I said, okay, good, makes sense. So I went first. 5 cents or 6 cents. I put that, the door open, I go in, do my job, come out. What do I see? By the time the door is open, after I have come out, my friend walks in. He didn't have to pay. He took the advantage of the door is kept open after the user comes out, after doing his or her job inside. Interaction design. Let's say if you are using a simple bread toaster, what happens to you every morning? You want to eat a nice toast. So you put the bread in the toaster, press the lever down. Actually, we all go through a high level of anxiety because we are not very sure in which condition the bread is going to come out. Most of the time, the bread comes out not well toasted. You again press it down, and then what you see is smoke coming out from the toaster. Am I right? You actually wanted to see the bread is browning, but it has not been designed accordingly. Next example, a geyser. Every morning, how do you use the geyser? Switch it on. After 20 minutes, after tea, coffee, newspaper, you come and see whether the light is still there or the light has gone off. The light gently goes off, so you know the warm water, heated water is available. But you have actually done a great economic offense to yourself. How? In the lack of a good interaction design, you, including I myself, have heated up 25 liters of water up to 70 degrees centigrade, and then, like a great fool, added cold water into it to take the shower. Clear? Importance of a good interface, interaction design. Okay? Now, let me come to the last but one. Controls and displays outside a lift. Tell me, you are on the 4th floor of a building and you want to go to the 11th floor, or if you want to come to the ground floor. You press the button outside the lift, and whether you want to go up or you want to go down, you do that after entering the lift, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So why do you have 2 buttons outside? And at the end of it, you will realize all the buttons are lit. You have pressed the button, you felt no response, you press the top arrow also, thinking now there might be the response. So what I mean is, from outside, you only call the lift, irrespective of whether it is down or up. And whatever that you want to do, going up or coming down, you do that after you enter the lift. So you don't need 2 buttons outside the lift. Clear? So the whole thing is a domain of interaction design. Let me move forward. Well, look at this. Can you all see this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The tea and coffee making alcove in a hotel where when I had to be there for about 4 days. Can you see that the whole damn thing looks a little odd? You have to go in to prepare the tea. Can you see all of this? Or you have to take out the entire tray, bring it outside, do something. So 3 mornings, I had to prepare tea going inside the alcove. On the 4th day, I discovered that this can be pulled out. This is experience design. In this case, I didn't know whether this can be pulled out or no. Clear? Now the question is, what made the difference? This is height of interaction design. Only this much, an expenditure of 10 paise will take care of a better experience. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
You would know that this can be pulled out. Next one. How many of you are familiar with this West bin? Anyway, this is Terminal 3, T3, Delhi Airport.
Right. I'm not able to hear Dr. Ghoshal. Is this the same with everyone, or I'm wondering if it's a question of my network? All right.
Yes, sir. It's the same for everyone.
All right. All right. Let me check with Dr. Ghoshal. Right. It looks like Dr. Ghoshal is disconnected. I'll reach out to him and see that he'll come back online. Till then, important that thanks. So hope you'll are finding this session interesting. Yeah, just type your answers out if you're finding this interesting. Now the importance of attending the session every week is because I'm going to share the group link, the WhatsApp group link with you. And using this group link, please join the WhatsApp group. And the end of this webinar, I mean, it takes us a few days to share a handout with you. That handout will only be shared to people on the WhatsApp group. So please, so let me just get that WhatsApp group link for you.
Sir, is it a new group or the old group?
Sorry, Dr. Ghoshal is going to, yeah, he's joining in right now.
Have you shared the WhatsApp link?
Not yet. I'm going to be sharing it now.
Okay, thanks.
Dr. Ghoshal, I've made you a co-host. I think he's lost network on his lab or with his regular internet connection. Yeah, we're not able to hear you, Dr. Ghoshal. So could you? Nope, still not audible. No, you're not audible yet. Okay, now you are unmuted. Okay. Right.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Now you're audible, doctor. Yeah.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Your voice seems to be breaking. It's broken, but you can try. I'll let you know if there's an issue.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, clearly.
Wonderful. I lost my presentation because there's no connectivity. And well, towards the end, just 3 minutes more. I'm sorry that I won't be able to share the screen with you, but let me speak it out. It was 2001 that from NID, we started 2 PhD programs on software and user interface design and information and digital design. 2007, we started something called Design for Digital Experience and Design for Retail Experience. 2008, we started something called, we merged those software and information design courses into information and interface design. It went on till about 2015. From there, we changed the whole thing to interaction design and information design. Now, my dear friends, till 2020, all the interactions were centered around an existing product or a process. Our anticipation is from 2020 onwards, interaction patterns for using the emerging technologies will be the main focus. And from here now on, understanding the nuances and capabilities of emerging technologies for devising innovative interactions will become in focus. So, in future, it will not be interacting with products. That means your design solution is not going to be driven by an existing product, but will be driven by what all the technological issues that are coming in. Is that clear? Now, I again say interaction is certainly not limited to screen. If you look at, Dion will share some of the material with you. In my cover page, I have indicated this, that an interaction encompasses any mode and range of communication between the user and the components around. through a single or multiple channels of human sensory system. So your interaction design is not only information architecture or wireframing, it's also the issue of what is the information that you are sensing through your sensory channels. And in such scenarios, the cognitive and other capabilities and characteristics of the user, including human information processing and decision making, becomes important. And by the way, last slide, the potential of interaction design that we see of very high order are into healthcare, education, interaction with your home, manufacturing technology, building construction. By the way, you may not know, there are two companies in Bangalore, they're into architectural solutions. One is Total Environment and the Ozone Group. Believe it or not, 90% of the design validation, and analysis is based on software. Architectural design and analysis. What should be the heat flow, air flow, structure, strength, material, sound, everything is computer software assisted. Personal development, all kinds of monitoring, coaching, retail experience, sports, communication, monitoring systems, training, service support, smart systems, all will be the major focus domains of interaction design. And we at the School of Design, we strive towards a leadership role in preparing able designers to respond to the emerging needs of interaction design. And my dear friends, at the end of my presentation, just to recap, if you Google in future of interaction design, you get everything. What you don't get is the fundamentals of certain things which, if you don't know, there's no chance of succeeding in the field. An ad hoc approach doesn't work. And by the way, before I forget, there's a very interesting conflict going on in the market for the last about 10 years. I'll tell you the conflict. The conflict is globally, there are two kinds of people who are teachers in the domain of interaction design, interface, interaction, etc., UX, etc. Those who are professional design, education-led people like us. And there are also people from software engineering. What has happened in between is that we kind of people who comes from design, human factors, design process, product design, industrial design, the learning of many design disciplines. For that interaction design is one school of thought, and those who are from software engineering, focusing on the same interaction design, there are other lots. What is happening in the market is they are not understanding their language and they are not understanding their language. Here, some people like us in the sense, because we come from the historical origin development, we can probably offer you the best. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Dr. Ghoshal. It was a very, very interesting talk. So to the audience, the Q&A session is now open. So please feel free to type your questions in the chat box and I'll ask the question. In case you would like to personally ask the question, please raise your hand using the icon and we'll moderate the question that way. All right. Right. Now, so there's one question here. All right. This is a question from Arvind N. All right. So
Okay.
in order to become a filmmaker,
Yeah.
what quality does a student need to have?
Wonderful question. There are two angles of it. One is taking a photo and making it a film storyline, go on capturing, stitch it up, make a film. The other way of looking at things is, what exactly do you want to communicate in the film, through the film? So the question is, as I say, is it filming? Is it taking a shot? Or is it a matter of the art of capturing emotions? So while shooting for the films, what exactly are you doing? Are you capturing emotions or you are filming? If this is the second one, no chance to win. It has to be capturing the emotions and communicate what to whom. So I'll tell you a very simple example. At NIT, we used to give a standard drawing question to all the newcomers. Suppose you are standing in front of a bridge on a river, draw the bridge. Is the question clear? Is the question clear?
Yeah, sir.
Yes, sir.
Suppose you are standing in front of a bridge on a river, draw the bridge. Now, everybody will draw the bridge, but there will be one person who will draw the bridge from a perspective where you can show all possible details of the bridge. And that's the thing which is wanted. We don't want a great drawing of the bridge. No, the great drawing should be taught. But do you know that you have to stand in a location, in a perspective of the bridge, from where all the details, characters, and the characteristics of the bridge can be shown? If that is there, you are a winner. Clear? Next. Next.
So,
Yeah.
so in the year 2008, how you was unable to communicate with the second model of that phone? Because at that time Like the phone
Which one?
was,
Which one? Come again. Come again.
sir,
Come again.
like the sir, like the old phones which had buttons.
Uh-huh.
So how he was able to track the GPS
Oh,
system?
no, no.
Actually, in the,
That's where your ability to conceive come. Did you notice one thing? Interface in terms of thinking was good. That there's going to be A, B, C, D button, there has to be something to be shown, there has to be an antenna. But did you notice one thing? The foreign portion of the product was not too good. So here the focus is interface and interaction. I will tell you, how do we foresee things? I'll tell you. You guys are on the platform. You are still listening, all of you.
yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now look at this. How do we foresee interaction? I'll give an example. If you live in a gated community, one main entrance, block A, block B, block C, block D, blah, blah, blah. Each block has 150 flats there. Now look at this. In this system, the security people, everybody knows your flat number, right? At the security, you had to enter, give your identities, your family details, the details of your Kamwali Bai, the driver, everybody's identity, number, Aadhaar card, everything had to be given the main gate, isn't it? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
And if I am the owner of the flat, in the lease deed document, they have everything. This flat belongs to whom? Now imagine all the data points and information points are connected with each other. In such a case, I don't have to press the button to bring my lift down. Lift. I should stand in front of the lift. The camera in the lift should recognize me and take me to my floor. Make sense?
Yes.
All right. Right. Just in the interest of time, we have another 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
What I will do is I'll just read out a couple of questions, and some of the questions may not be relevant, so I'll address those.
Okay.
One question is NATA score important for admission in Jain school? The answer to that is no. NATA score is required for architecture, not for design. All right. But for design, you can probably use your USEED score, or I don't know if you'll accept NID score or the
Yes.
Jain test. Yeah.
Jain, we have our own test also.
Right. So
Yeah.
that is that.
Yeah.
So there's another question from Kirtana who's asking, can you tell us a little bit about placements at J&D school? I'll leave that open to you, sir.
Wonderful. I'll just come. I mean, I'll give the response in a time which is much smaller than your expectation. I'm the only person, I have the audacity to tell you, the way we prepare our boys and girls that we have been doing from day one of my academic tenure, each one of you are given with 3 placements. And the way I have done it now, mathematically you will get 3 placement offers. Our industry exposure to the candidates, to the students, begins from semester one. And it's an official document that any boy and girl, any candidate in their bachelor's program, he or she will be exposed to 12 industries. One. From the fourth semester onwards, he will have to pick up industry projects. So by default, he will be known to the industries because in the fourth sem, you can go back to one industry and tell, sir, when I came here in my first sem, I saw something. Can I work on that? They will never say no to you. So here it starts your industry interaction, which is built in our academic program. Option one. Option two, at the 8th SEM, you will have to do a complete graduation project with an industry. Option two. Though both the parties, they say, hey, why don't you come back and join us? And the third option is their competitors. So, my dear friends, boys and girls, to each one of you, the way we do things, you get placement, minimum 3 placements per candidate. I have been doing that, not in the D school, from my NID and previous 2 years at UPES, because our structure of the academics and the pedagogy is such that half of your learning is industry facing, not inward facing. I hope you got my explanation.
Yes.
Yes, sir. So thank you for that. That's a very interesting approach. Couple of questions. Is Jain School AICT approved? The answer is yes.
100%.
100% approved.
Yeah.
One interesting question is here from Anand Kaushik. So what did you do with HL and NAL?
Well, I'm still looking for some passionate boys and girls. By the way, I didn't show you my consulting project. I have two cockpit 7, 836 and Hansa 3. Any boys and girls want to work on glass cockpits, that's in advanced level of flying cockpits, please come, show your passion. I will take you by hand to HAL, NAL, all of these people. Well, I mean, I'm just waiting for some boys and girls to come. And as I've been telling you, tomorrow, Monday, I'm taking 6 boys and girls to Bharat Art Movers Limited, BEML, in the company, in their premises, to introduce them to their practical works. They're only in the 5th sem. So come and join hands with me. Next day, I will take you to the industry. Next day. In fact, by the way, those who want to come in the domain of product design, I'm also in touch with IMTMA, Indian Machine Tool Manufacturers Association. We want to start a large-scale operation for the manufacturing technology and Industry 4.0. Industry 4.0 is how do you get connected with a machine even being 2,000 kilometers apart? Yeah?
Right.
So the gentleman who asked this question, you can get connected with me separately. I can show you the projects that we did with them. I'm just waiting for some good boys and girls to come in and join hands. Go
Fantastic.
ahead.
Yeah. All right. And I think we're completely out of time. So I'll let Dr. Kumudini to ask the last question. Dr. Kumudini, you could unmute
Please,
and
ma'am.
ask your question.
Please, ma'am.
Sir, is technology, knowing technology before getting into the School of Design, is it important?
Knowing technology is important. At least the interest to know technology is more important than knowing technologies. because design is not just an airy-fairy idea. In fact, as I tell people, I have this mouse with me, and if somebody tells me that, Ghoshal, if you make this mouse electric blue or magenta in color, that will look brilliant. Yes, it might look brilliant, but that's not design. Design takes you through a process. And ma'am, by the way, technology has got two dimensions. One is techne plus logos. Techne is how to. How to cut a piece of wood. There are 7 ways to cut a piece of wood. Once you know the 7 ways, you get into a logos domain, which is a knowledge domain. There you know, if I have to cut this piece here, I have to use this method, not that method. The whole thing together is called technology. So, a basic interest to know technology is important. Otherwise, no design is successful. Because if I'm saying iPhone camera is 40 megapixels and Samsung camera is 32 megapixels, that's not the issue. I need to know the sensor capacities of the camera. Now, if I don't know what is meant by the sensor capacities of the camera, I can't move forward.
Yeah, sir, actually, yes,
Yeah.
sir, I have one small rejoinder. Sorry to take your time. It's a couple of minutes more. There's a focus called technology. There's also
Yeah.
a focus for called the core design principles. So you said you are
Okay.
a mediator, or you put these two people on board to really give the solutions of interaction design.
Absolutely.
My question is,
Yeah.
how the kids who want to get into this interaction design, I'm
Yeah.
sure need to know at least some sort of technology appreciation, as you say,
Absolutely.
appreciation,
Absolutely.
but how does the curriculum take care of these evolving technological trends in interaction, at the same time holding on to the core design principles, because that's an ever evolving tool that is in design tools.
Who is asking this question? Is that Sean?
It is my husband who is asking.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Sir, you have hit the nail. What we do is we precisely do 3 things on this. Number 1, we have certain inputs which are purely on this. For example, I just completed one input on ubiquitous computing. Please believe me, ubiquitous AI and IoT are 3 separate inputs built in our curriculum. Number 1. Number 2, these are offered by industry experts, complemented with those people who are designers and who work with technology people. So, for example, right now, let me tell you, Karma Bhutia. Karma is in Honeywell, my own student. Karma is in charge of networking solutions and the safety and security and user interaction design. Now, Karma is a designer who understands how to use technology And he also worked with the technology person. So both of them worked together. Let me tell you my own case. Long back when we designed touch-based simulators for India's Light Combat Aircraft Program at Aeronautical Development Agency, we had to work with a technology firm in Hyderabad. They were the first people who brought in coordinate-based touch interactive system. So we had to understand how X and Y coordinate pixel-based interaction works. Otherwise, you won't be able to design the simulator. So, sir, as I told you, we handle this at three levels. One, academic input. Two, input from the industry. Third, on a project level approach, how to work together. Got my point?
Yes, sir.
So the three things are built in. For example, again repeat, I have this under official publication. Bachelor students will be exposed to 12 industries in their academic tenure. Master students will be exposed to 5 industries of their choice, not of my choice, during their semester, the cost of which is built in.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Sir, thank you.
All right. Thanks, everyone. I mean, there is a question on couple of other questions, but we are completely out of time. Please join the WhatsApp group, and also on that we will share the PDF document that's shared by Dr. Ghoshal, and y'all will get the information there. Y'all can probably connect with the school through DQ Edge. Please make sure you go through DQ Edge and click on that inquire button to reach out to the right person at Jain University, because that's the best way to reach out to them. And thank you, Dr. Ghoshal, for taking the time.
Thank you very much.
Brilliant session.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All the very best.
Sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir.